everybody. We're going to do some more Codesters today. This is going to be the, which lesson is this? This is the star variable. Alright, this is the one right after roll the dice. So in this lesson, you'll be using variables to control the size, shape, and color of many different objects all at once. Sounds like fun. Let's do this. Alright, so here we have a program that someone wrote for us. Alright, got a bunch of stars. What happens? Change the value of the star points and or star size. So star points, let's change it to 7. Star size, so right now it's 5. Let's change it to 6. See what happens. Oh, now our stars are a tiny bit bigger and they have more points. Let's click on the ticket. How did the appearance of the stars change when we changed the value of the star size? They got bigger. They increased in size. The number of points increased. Easy peasy. That's your ticket. Click submit. Next activity. Alright, now answer a few questions to see what you've learned so far. Let's do this. Let's run the program, see what happens. Alright, we have 2 stars over here. What is the name of the variable controlling the radius of star 1? So star 1, we have coasters.star, negative 100, the x, the y, the points, and the radius. The radius is called star 1 size. What is the radius of star 1? Star 1 size is 15. What is the radius of star 2? Star 2 size, alright, is 50. There we go. So I'll see the good memory goes x, y, points, radius, color. So in this case, we have a variable called star size taking the place of some number. In this case, the number is 50. The advantage of this is if we wanted to change it later on, we don't have to go through and hunt and peck. All we have to do is find star size and just change that one. Especially when we have a lot of stars, which we'll get into soon. Easy way to do it. Alright, we started building this program for you. Oh, thanks. The variable star size at the top of our program controls the size, the radius of the first 3 stars. Find star 4 right here in the editor and change its radius parameter from the number 10 to the variable star size. So here's star 4, negative 200, 195, 5, 10. That's the radius. We want to change this to star, underscore size. Alright. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stars that all have the radius of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the smaller ones. These all have a radius of 10. Alright, let's use the variable star size to control the size of the rest of our stars. So I'm going to go through all of these and change them to star size. Let me just copy this, right? Paste. I don't even have to click the keyboard. I can just use my mouse for this. Now, all of my stars have a radius of 30. If I want to make them all bigger or smaller, I can change that. Now we can change all the stars with only one line of code. So let's change it from 30 to 50, even bigger stars. Those stars are too big. See, before I would have had to gone through 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Now I just have to change one thing. Much more compact as far as code goes. Much easier to fix mistakes or to make changes, especially when if you're like writing a big program, you might be dealing with thousands and thousands of lines of code, and you don't want to have to change, thousands and thousands of lines of code because you messed up one variable or decided you need to make something a little bit different. This program does not work. It has a bug. Well, let's run it, see what happens here. Uh-oh, we don't have balloons over here. You see over here we have balloon size, but down here we have balloon size with quotation marks around them. Remember, quotation marks make them strings. Let's get rid of these. There we go. Let's run it now. Oh, now I have 4 balloons. Ta-da! Clean my glasses. All right, up next. Oh, we have a logic error. Let's see what happens. We have 4 squares here, but this square is not the right size. It's the green square, right? So debug the program so that all 4 squares use the variable square size for their size. So square size, square size, square size. This one here has 50. So let's change this to square underscore size. Excuse me. Now, I'm the only one in this room, so it's okay for me to take off my mask and sneeze. I don't want to sneeze inside my mask if I don't have to. All right, now they're all the same. Now, I could have changed this to 100, but I want to use the variables. That way I can control all the squares at the same time. All right, let's create a new variable to control the number of points on our stars. So let's go to Data, an integer variable. Drop it at the top of your program. And change it to right below star size. So put it over here. There we go. Let's give ourselves a little space, like everything's spaced nicely. Drop it at the top of the right. Did that? Let's go. All right, we didn't use it yet, but we have it available to us. Next. The variable star points is an integer variable because it stores a number. All right, so remember that we've dealt with integer variables and string variables. When they talk about whole numbers, they are integer variables. So if the data that the variable holds is an integer, then it's an integer variable. All right, so this is good. Star size. We want to change this to star points, star underscore points. We want to change it from 25 to 10. A 10-pointed star. Again, we didn't do anything with it yet, but we will soon. Now let's use the variable star points to control the number of points our stars have. All right, find star 1 right here in line 7. Change the number of in the points parameter to the variable points. So these are all of our parameters. So here we've got x, y, points, radius, and color. We want to change points to star underscore points. So now star number 1 will have 10 points, and all the rest will still have 5. Here's star number 1 right over here. I kind of prefer the 5-pointed star, but I'm a traditionalist. All right, so now I'm going to change them all to star points instead of star size, or sorry, instead of 5. Change all these 5 to star points. Click. There we go. Now we'll have a bunch of 10-pointed stars. Great job. Thank you. Uh-oh, this program has a bug, which means we need to fix it. Let's run it, see what happens. Oops, name my color is not defined on line 1. Now here we have circle equals coasters.circle 00150 my color. So my color is one of the parameters for our circle over here. We want to make a purple circle, but we don't define my color until after we've already said what a circle is. You can't use a variable. In this case, the variable is my color until you've defined it. So here we're already using it, but that won't work. So let's put this before we put the circle out there. So my color equals purple. Now when the circle gets created, it says, all right, what color circle is this going to be? Let me see, it's my color. What is my, we just said that my color is purple. So let's make a nice purple circle. Purple circle. I got some fading in my green screen. I gotta spread it out a little bit. I can't have messed up green screen. It's still a little bit messed up. Let's fix it. Is that any better? Over here, it's messed up. Best I can do for right now. Still, but I need to steam it or something to make it nice and flat. It's really bugging me though. Now, if I just sit in front of it, right? Or I can move my camera so it doesn't catch it. Oh, that's even worse. Alrighty. Move on to the next thing. Let's create another variable. Woohoo! This is going to be called star color. It's a string variable because it's going to store a string. Remember, our image labels, our colors and stuff like that are going to be in strings. So yellow and like the image labels for sprites and all that kind of stuff, those are strings. So we're going to make something called star color equals, I don't know, red or whatever, it doesn't matter. I think they wanted you, well, let's do it the way they told us to do it. Oops. So you go to data, you want string variable. This is the string. This is what a string variable looks like when you drag and drop it. Oh, change the name to star color. Sorry, let's do that part too. It'd help if I read the directions, right? This is a string. You already picked a color. I did not pick a color. All right, now I'm going to change this to aqua. Great job. Thank you. Now we're going to change all these yellows to star color. I'm always double clicking on submit. Like I feel like, did I really submit it? Yeah, probably. All right, so change these all to star color. Yeah, unfortunately, you gotta. Paste. If I triple click, that's the whole thing. I want to adjust this thing with the quotation marks. All right, that's the easiest way to do it, I guess. They want them all, right? Not just star one? Yeah, they want them all. All right. Paste this. Paste this. We have a bunch of aqua 10-pointed stars. This program has a bug, which means we need to which means we need to fix it. Let's run it and see what happens. Oops, circle color is not a valid HTML color name. You can find a list of colors here on line 4. All right. So over here we have circle color, but it's in quotations, quotation marks. So remember, when we use our variables, we don't want to use quotation marks around them because that changes it into a string. Now, again, normally it would be okay to use a string for the color of our circle, but if it was an actual color, if we put in like yellow or red, all right? But circle color is not a color, so we have to put in a real color or a real variable, one of those two things. Next, did I click next? I thought I did. Let's make our stars appear far away by changing only one line of code, all right? Let's change it from 50 to 5. Oh, we have little tiny aqua stars, 10-pointed aqua stars, relative to those other stars. All right, now we're going to change it to 4 points. 4-pointed stars. Doop. And now we're going to have white stars. All right, great. Now see, the advantage of this is rather having to go through each of these and changing each individual one, we just have to change one line of code. All right, some questions. All right, we got a green rectangle, we've got a blue star. What is the value of my var2? My var2 is 10. Look at it right here. Where is my var1 being used? My var1, it's being used here. Anywhere else? Nope, just here. So in my rectangle, the height of my rectangle, xy width height. All right, the width of my rectangle. How many points? It's kind of like a little bit confusing because if we like line it up to where it actually is, right? It goes x, y, width, height, color. All right. because these are longer than the default text over here in our comment. So make sure you're actually going by the order, not by like what's on top of it. Sometimes with the comments, that can kind of trip you up a little bit. How many points does my star have? All right, let me see. X, Y, points. Points is my var2. It has 10 points. There we go. All right, let's add some gravity to our program just for fun. Let's do it. Let's go to, we're going to go to physics. This one, graphics, physics. Let's go to set gravity. Let's space it out a little bit. Enable physics. Oh, what did I do? I don't want to do that. I want to set gravity. I think I dragged the wrong one. There we go. Set gravity to 10. Let's see what happens. Boing. No, our stars fell. It's a falling star, a bouncing star. It's pretty bouncy. Now try your program and customize it. Be sure to meet the following requirements. Change the background or add a sprite. We can add a new, let's put in a sprite. Let's do a background and a sprite. Let's do a nice space. Let's do Mars instead of space. Let's put in a sprite. Nice outer space sprite. A nice rocket, right? Isn't there like a rocket over here? Rocket. All right. Let's put the rocket over here, like negative 175 of 170. You do that with some more parameters. Negative 175. The more you're familiar with the parameters, the more you'll be comfortable just like putting them in. All right. I didn't do all of them, but I did meet some requirements, right? Change the number in your set gravity command, right? Right now it's 10. Let's make it, I don't know. Let's make it -2. Let's be super fancy. Add more stars. All right, let's do this first. Oh. Our rocket doesn't bounce down. All right, let's change from -2 to 2. Because I want to have my rocket bounce too. That's cool. Let's add in some more stars. All right, let's add in, I don't know, 3 more. Let's add in 2 more stars. So I'm going to just copy star 7, star 8, and change this to star 9 and star 10. Not 810, 10. All right, so we have to change these numbers, the X and the Y too, otherwise they'll be right on top of each other, and the gravity, it's not going to affect them differently, so it still will look, even though there will be technically 10 stars on our stage, we'll only see 8 of them. So let's change these numbers up a little bit. Let's just add, I don't know, 20 to each of them. Let me see, so that would make this 20, 120, 195, 100. All right. Until these are the stars that we added in. Great job. All right, so we added a background or a sprite. I did both. Let's get this cool Mars background over here. Change the number of gravity. I changed mine from 10 to 2, and added some more stars. I just copied a couple of stars, and then I just pasted them down here. Change the numbers so they're not stacked on top of each other, and you're good to go. All right, let's look at for your final project, what you got to do here. Let's get started on, well, computer wallpaper. Let's read it. That always helps. Computer wallpaper is the background display you see when you first log into your computer. Frequently, wallpaper designs are recreated scenes from nature or interesting shapes with different patterns and colors. You can find many different designs available or make your own. In this activity, you're asked to make your own wallpaper design. Use variables to control the appearance of multiple objects on the stage. Let's get started. Let's look at some examples. I just really need to get more sleep. All right, I'm always rambling and mumbling. Let's look at this one over here. All right, got a bunch of random fish. Oop. My light turned off. Ooh, now it's super dark in here. Ooh, spooky. Let me turn the lights back on. let's take a look at what this person did over here. You know why I have my headphones on. There's no one here but me. All right. So we have a pond background. We have small size, medium size, large size. These are some variables with some different, a couple floats and an integer, right? Where floats are numbers with decimals. Technically, an integer is also a float as well. So all numbers are floats. Alrighty. We've got a shark with the shark layer. It's the spot over here. We make it small. We have our second shark. We also use the small size on that one, which is 0.7. We have some fish. Fish set, make that one small. Make another fish, make it large. We got a piranha, make it medium. Piranha, make it medium. Turtle, make it large. Turtle, make it medium. We got gill, another fish. This guy over here, I guess. He's the only fish that's a one-off. And then we have an anemone. Anemone. Then we just have some different commands. That's kind of cool. It's the Nemovolution, whatever that means. I know Nemo from Finding Nemo. Let's look at one more. Then I'll show you the one that I did. Okay, we got some fish moving around. This one moves around a little bit. This turtle moves a little bit. Okay, that was cool. I like that one a little bit better. That's my personal preference. Maybe you like the other one. Let's look at the one that I did. I did not go with the aquarium. I went with my own little version over here. All right, so let's take a look at our what our requirements are. We created an aquarium tank wallpaper with a fish variant size. I didn't want to do fish. I want to do something different. All right. So as long as you have some, you meet all the requirements that you could have done with fish, that's fine. So I have a soccer field. I have here I have a random integer from -200 to 200. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to randomly place my players on the field. So here I have player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, player 5. So they all have these are all their image labels. So they all start off with player, then some random string of 1 through 6. So there are 6 players altogether that we could use. So remember, our image labels for our sprites are some string. So the way I have random players is player and then a random number. I'm going to adding these two things together. So I'm either going to have player 1. I could have all player 1s. I could have a mix of player 1 through player 6. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Right. And then where they're positioned, the X and the Y position. So the X position, the left and right, is going to be a random number from -200 to 200. So anywhere on the stage from over here, somewhere like on the soccer field. And the Y position, I didn't want them to have a random number. I guess I could have made it, from here to here, right? But I just had it static, right? So they all start. I wanted to be able to make sure that you could see all of the players. So I just have them spaced 5 pixels apart. Then I made all my players a little bit small, and then I give them an X speed. So there'll be next speed is change how fast they move on the X axis. That's the word I'm looking for. How they'll move left and right. And the speed I gave them is going to be another random integer from 1 to 6. So some will move fast, some will move slow. And I also do the same thing with the soccer ball over here. So let's stop it, right? Let's run it. So I got my 6 players, my 6 random players. They all get their size change, and they start moving around back and forth, bouncing. Same for the soccer ball. So I thought this one was pretty cool. Again, as long as you've got some random animation, or you don't have to have random stuff. This is just what I wanted to do. I wanted to make mine a little bit fancier. As long as you got some your sprites, you have to have variables as some of the parameters. That's the main thing you want to think about. and they vary in size. I put they vary in location. That's fine. This is the one I wanted to do. As long as you got somewhere in here, you've got a few different sprites, like 4 or 5 sprites. As far as like movement, all that kind of stuff, as long as they vary in size or they have some kind of something that relies on a variable, that's fine. Stop. All right. So again, I'll probably look at some of the examples. Might be a better, might be better. Maybe I went a little too fancy with mine. And none of mine really relied on. I relied on random numbers, but I didn't really rely on variables for mine. So maybe mine's not the best example. But if you look at this one, number 3. That's kind of cool. They use some collision events and stuff like that in there. So take a look at some of the examples. Right. So some of the the variables that they use are Sharky and hit Claren and that kind of stuff. That's fine too. Take a look at some of the ones that have been posted, the examples. See what you can do as far as creating. It doesn't even have to be an aquarium. As long as you're using variables inside of your some of your parameters. That's all I'm really looking for. Like maybe they change in size, maybe they change direction, or whatever it is. Let's take a look, see what you can do with that. All right, so I hope this helps you out. I will see you guys tomorrow.